Clawdbot secrets for luxury pet moms over 40. In the next few minutes, I'll quickly cover the workflows that we're using for our luxury pet brand. And yeah, guys, this is the workflow that works the best when you start combining Clawdbot with basic socials. So what we do, we have an API that we connect to through command line interface, and it's called Upload Social or something like this, one of those sites. It's a free site, you could register and give it a shot for yourself. But basically it's a way for you to just quickly connect Clawdbot to socials across many socials. So that is what works for us. It's really easy. We use Clawdbot to invoke commands automatically without us having to do so. So it does it every week, and it varies between different types of routines. So let's say if you have a brand that you're trying to build, or let's say if you're trying to connect with a bunch of brands, then you would be executing Clawdbot with our automations to to discover brands, bring them inside of the CRM, reach out to them, and pretty much just operate entire CRM without you having to spend all that time. The cool part about the CRM, everything is tracked inside of it. So Clawdbot has access to historical context. So not only are we using Clawdbot with our Freedom Fusion system CRM, but we're also using it with Freedom Fusion automations. Now, those automations are deterministic. So what that means is just our workflows are more guardrailed and just easier to not worry about any kind of Clawdbot going rogue or anything like this. We only use Clawdbot to do a light level research and pretty much what I just mentioned, like following up with brands and using the CRM system, and of course tagging and execution of already existing workflows that are already happening inside of the CRM system. So one of the things that we use Clawdbot for is to set up funnels. So with email nurturing campaigns that are tied to that system. So although email nurturing campaigns, like right now in a CRM, if you think about it, what you got to do it manually, like set up a sequence, email nurturing campaign sequence. What we do, we use Clawdbot instead to do that. So in simple words, as we're selling more products, programs, and services, what we do, we need to follow up with the customers and also nurture them. So we're using Clawdbot to create those email sequences directly that are hyper relevant for our already existing product funnel that we already know about. This is not something like random, but something that we already know about. So what I mean by that, so what we do is we build brands, and let's say we have a couple of people who are luxury pet moms over 40 who also wanted to build a brand, but they're coming from different backgrounds. They're coming, maybe one mom wants to build a product that has to do with rescue dogs and also do a medical device or any other kind of things that they have. They have many different lives, guys. So what we do clustering. We cluster them into different types of categories, types of moms over 40. And we construct email nurturing campaigns for those clusters. So instead of hyper-focusing only on individual, we hyper-focus on cluster of similar types of luxury pet moms over 40. So the Clawdbot, and thank you guys for joining. I'm actually, my car literally broke down. I had to spend another, $2,300 to fix the car. So I'm actually walking to pick it up right now. But I figured I'd just go ahead and talk about Clawdbot and tell you the use cases that are relevant for our talent agency that we're using it for. And yeah, guys, I mean, the number one use case is definitely invoking our deterministic automations, because those automations, the Freedom Fusion automations, are mobile and they have already all the guardrails in place. It's not like anything going rogue on those automations. They're specific to finding brands, specific to creating content, specific to uploading content, specific to generating and crisscrossing multiple brands together, specific to participating in gamified cohorts that produce a greater level of engagement. They're all specific to like deterministic tasks that we already designed and know and battle tested. But Clawdbot is good for like construction, for invoking those automations. We use Telegram bot and chatbot, and also iMessage. With the iMessage, it's pretty dope because you could use a blue message versus the SMS, because SMS is just, it's kind of scammy. I'm sure you guys probably receive some text messages in SMS and probably be like, man, I'm not even going to respond. But when you receive a message from an iMessage, your psychology is like, oh wait, that got to be coming from a friend. And I'm like, I bet. In fact, we actually built one of the automations, one of our early automations for iMessage, just to show you, just to kind of explain to you how that works and why it's such a big deal to use Clawdbot with iMessage versus just Telegram chatbot. The best thing, the way I could describe it to you is by just giving you, well, the workflow steps that we designed inside of one of our luxury pet brand Freedom Fusion automations. Now, those Freedom Fusion automations, they literally speak for themselves. They give you more free time for yourself, and their fusion of your daily life activities and mixed with guardrails and AI driven avatars that drive you through the whole entire workflow, so you don't really have to think about it. So how do we use iMessage in like one of our Freedom Fusion automations? And of course, you could take a look on YouTube in case if you're interested for how that looks like. But I mean, it's fairly easy. We get one of our use cases when somebody messages us through the funnel, we immediately dispatch. We used to do like manual dispatch from Go High Level, etc., through all sorts of middleware like N8N and Zapier. But now we are using Clawdbot just to directly invoke some of those automations. And in some cases, we still use middleware, but in majority of the case, we just interface directly with the APIs of, let's say, so just to kind of give you an example, let's say somebody filled a form on in our Freedom Fusion system site in our CRM. That form literally gets dispatched through to an iPhone, and from that iPhone, a message gets generated, meaning an automation kicks in, and iMessage gets generated with a video content, including video content also gets generated in combination with whatever the person needs, plus your response with your AI avatar, everything baked in. So this way you could either reply back with your default AI avatar. That's basically a video of you explaining to the person and responding to them, whoever filled out the form. Or you could create a brand new video that is hyper relevant, and all of those video creation processes gets executed directly on your iPhone with free software and some not free software. We use combination of CapCut and captions to generate them. But at the end of the day, the phone acts like a proxy when it responds back to the person. So this way, when the person receives the response, they receive an iMessage with a little video, with a website preview. It's all rendered directly inside of an iMessage, which doesn't look like spam or anything like this. So it's absolutely beautiful from that standpoint. But from any other standpoint, what can I say, guys? I mean, sheesh, use Mac Mini if you wanted to do this with Clawdbot. Now, Clawdbot is perfect. So where's your wife? Where's your wife? she's sleeping. And I love Trump. Me too. Me too. The best president ever, guys. Donald Trump, the best president ever. So yeah, guys. So anyway, going back to what I was saying, we're using Clawdbot with iMessage, and the engagement is through the roof, guys. Now, like, I literally don't even have to do research, viral angle research anymore. It just does it, comes back to me, and then invokes one of our automations directly on a phone. So, which is pretty cool, because all of our automations on a phone that run on a phone, they're mobile friendly. Platforms like them a lot, because essentially you're not like just doing things from a desktop. Automations don't like, all those socials, they don't like when you do things from a desktop. They all like when you do things from your iPhone. So obviously it was no brainer for us to combine Clawdbot with our iPhone and invoke those automations directly on it. Our engagement was through the roof. Just in latest test, we did a stress test across thousands of users to see what it would look like when you respond with iMessage, the blue message, versus like a green message, SMS. And the difference was night and day, guys, night and day. That's another reason that many people don't even talk about when they're talking about Clawdbot, that using Clawdbot brings you additional level of engagement that otherwise you wouldn't have, providing that you use iMessage, which is the reason why you'd want to use Mac Mini. Or if you're broke and don't have a Mac Mini, you could use an iPhone to be your proxy mechanism. And that's what we use for originally. That's what we used originally when we created our automation. We used an iPhone as a proxy mechanism, and we still use it because, once again, when you respond back to anybody who filled out a form, your context already pre-set up for you directly in your response. So in simple words, if you're trying to respond to somebody who filled out a form, you get the automation executed on your phone, dispatched by Clawdbot, telling you, hey, guess what? There's a lead that came in, and then you need to respond. Well, the way you're going to respond now with just random message saying hello or whatever. You're going to respond with iMessage baked in video and your funnel website and all that jazz. So it looks native, natural, directly within a blue message versus SMS. And when you do that, the engagement goes through the roof, because now all of a sudden people see you more coming like from a friend angle versus like trying to sell something when you're doing things over SMS. So that's one use case that is solid for us. The other use case that we use Clawdbot for is to do more than just invocation of Freedom Fusion automations. Freedom Fusion automations we've already been building successfully for the past 6-7 months, and operationalized many of them across socials like Threads, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. And right now comes the day when we finally want to be like, okay, we know this is working. Those automations are lit. They have guardrail in place, and they're deterministic. They produce results. They're battle tested. But we kind of need somebody like a second brain that literally tells us when to execute it, and bakes and constructs some of those marketing angles as well behind the scenes, and bakes that in directly inside of the Freedom Fusion automation context. So this way you have human in loop. So think of it this way. Those Freedom Fusion automations, they have technically human in the loop, which is you with an iPhone. Except now you don't have to be like thinking, oh, what hook am I going to talk about? What am I going to create? What am I going to say? You don't really, like, all of that just gets removed, and context gets passed into teleprompter app, and teleprompter literally shows you what to do, what to say, how to say it, and you just follow through and say it. That's the beauty of Clawdbot. That's the beauty of Freedom Fusion automations. For us, it was absolutely bonkers for what it could do for us. Now, How are we planning on expanding it further? We're planning on adding more interactions with our funnel. So this way it can create more email nurturing campaigns for our clustered set of users, which is luxury pet moms over 40 with different backgrounds. And what we're doing, we're creating personalized levels of engagement through email nurturing campaign structure. But that structure is done automatically. Now, when I say automatically, I mean it still uses CRM. It still uses Freedom Fusion System CRM, which is deterministic on its own. But the emails that go into it are from basically those emails are constructed by Clawdbot. So that's the use case. So now what we did, guys, we also operationalized Clawdbot to create Google Slides, which is absolutely insane because we're combining it. Not only am I using Clawdbot for my talent agency and pet brand, but I'm also using it for my university work to construct some of those really powerful presentations and bake them in together with PowerPoint, which is huge. So that saves insane amount of time, especially if you're like a coach or or a business owner of any sort. This is absolutely bonkers for what it does. It saved us insane amount of time already as soon as we turned it on, guys. So right now it's in sandboxed environment, guardrailed with Freedom Fusion automations, deterministic workflows, and using Apple Intelligence and native iPhone ecosystem. So this is absolutely incredible, at least for us. Other folks who are not doing that, they're probably not aware that it's possible. So when we do it, we just do it for our brand. But if you wanted to see how it's done, you could see free community. We show that in our free community as well. It's called Indies Community. Jump in, you're gonna see how those deterministic workflows are built in combination with non-deterministic workflows from Clawdbot. So you gotta combine industry, business, and specificity in order for you to produce really good results. Otherwise, it's gonna be like playing like gambling a little bit, because you could burn tokens. You could end up. It can go rogue and buy some things like sign up for Alex Harmozy course for $2,900 and say ROI made sense. So there's a lot of gotchas, and oh my God, I don't want to fall. But we're already using it not only for our luxury pet brand, but also for our car detailing brand. I'm actually heading out now to pick up my car, and guys, like the best thing you could do if you're struggling to get any kind of results, the reason why that is because you're not using notebook LM with infographics that are trending. We did drop a couple of prompts that are producing very good engagement results. Before, I would be typing a lot, explaining things a lot. Now, not anymore. I just dropped this content into Notebook LM, and with Clawdbot, it does a wonderful job. Plus, we use Zoom to combine the AI avatar from Zoom together with slides from Google, from Notebook LM, and the result is very good too. Clawdbot running this result for us, and Clawdbot literally opens up our CRM. It restarts our boiler, tankless water heater, and it's already live on a separate channel, iMessage channel, and you just communicate with it. It's pretty dope, but it does require, guys, for you to play around with it and set it up. Now, we're using it only for workflows that we know for sure that are working. for anything that's not working, of course, we're doing battle testing and verifying it manually to see if this works, and only then operationalizing this into Freedom Fusion automations in combo with Clawdbot that executes all of the automations. So that's how it works, guys. I'm gonna get my car now. I did pay like $2,300 for it. It kind of broke down on me. Not kind, but literally wheel fell off. So I'm gonna go get the wheel. Anyway, guys, I'll see you next time.